Hi, everybody. This is August 25th, 2023. It's been 348 days since I visited with my brother, Paul Kierans. This is his birthday last year, April 28th, 2022. And that's the birthday cake I bought for his group home, L'Arche. This is a picture of him with a little Disney puzzle I bought him. So he's been confined against his will. He started to say he didn't want to leave my place when our visits were over. And so L'Arche terminated his visits with me. I also found out that they had him sign an agreement granting all his personal and property rights to my 81-year-old sister, who's a nun in Northern Ontario, who moved out when he was 1 year old and who has only met him face to face a handful of times. Her name is May Kierans. So when I found out that L'Arche had cooked up this agreement, they wrote my sister and told her to terminate his visits with me. And that was on September 12th of 2022. So I applied to restore a visitation agreement. I had a visitation agreement with Community Living BC, which is the Crown Corporation funded by your tax dollars. So your tax dollars are paying for all of this. L'Arche is not paying a penny for it out of their own pocket. Community Living BC is a branch of the government of British Columbia, which is an NDP government, and Community Living BC is funding L'Arche. They are walking hand in glove, or the working hand in glove with L'Arche. So most recently, the most recent judge that we were before said L'Arche did not have the right to terminate the visits. I had applied to be Paul's decision maker, which is the proper way to go about it. When somebody is incapable or very low functioning, you have to go to a judge and get the judge to decide who will be their decision maker. But L'Arche skipped that step and pretended to have Paul sign this what they call a representation agreement, which he's too low functioning to understand. I mean, I could barely understand it. And I practiced law for 26 years. And he's never functioned above the level of about a 15-month-old. So anyways, I applied to the court to restore the visitation agreement I had with L'Arche. That my application was dismissed by a judge who said L'Arche was in the best position to decide who Paul should be visiting with. And L'Arche based their only evidence was a 10-page single-spaced diatribe from one of Paul's workers, who I know who the worker is. I subpoenaed her to court. She didn't bother to show up. That's okay. At the last minute, when we were in court on August 1, 2, and 3, I had prepared 22 affidavits. It costs $40 per affidavit to have it witnessed by a commissioner. And my sister's lawyer showed up with a 2-page email from another sister who I have served with all the documents and who said she didn't want to get involved. And that sister said that she has moved to Vancouver Island and she can only visit Paul once a month. I live 30 minutes from Paul and I can visit him, basically every day. And our agreement was for twice a week. So that sister said, out of the blue, in a 2-page email with no address, no phone number, no contact information. This is a person that hasn't talked to me since 2014 and who had emailed me and said she didn't want to get involved. I spent $253 serving her with all the documents in the proper way, giving her the opportunity to appear at court, to respond, to file an affidavit, but no, she sends a 2-page email saying that she thinks I should have supervised visits with Paul. Doesn't say why. So that's where we're at right now. Anyways, tomorrow will be the 99th scheduled visit that I will have missed with Paul. I get to phone him for 10 minutes today at 4:30. On one occasion when I phoned him for the 10-minute call, they didn't let him come to the phone. For the longest time, he would just say, "I love you, I love you, I love you." But now he just sounds like he's given up. He sounds despondent. I have tried everything I can think of. I have faith in our system. I've written everybody I can think of. And I've appealed to you guys virtually every day since this started happening. And 15 of you have contributed to my GoFundMe account. And I've raised $1,135, which has gone to an expert report and to paying to fly a witness in from Edmonton. Oh yeah, that's the other thing, is I spent about $1,000 flying in an actual witness from Edmonton so she could take the witness stand and be cross-examined. And I've done everything. I've done everything that I can think of because I believe in the system. The system works if you work it, so I'm working it. And I know that I'm going to win in the end. It's just the loss, that we have to suffer while we're getting to that point is tragic. But the only thing I can hope for is that people like you will not be confined and isolated by cult-like group homes like L'Arche, that they won't try this with their other residents. They will probably never do this again. And if they ever want to use one of these representations agreements, they will take that person to a proper lawyer, pay $350 and have them sign in front of a proper lawyer. No lawyer on earth would ever have witnessed this so-called representation agreement that they say my brother signed, and it's not his signature. Anyways, thank you so much for listening to me. Thanks so much to I think 14 different people contributed to my GoFundMe account. I don't know who's prayed for me, but it would help me if you do pray for me. Let me know. So if you go to your Gurdwara or your temple or your synagogue or your church, please just say a prayer. Think of Paul and I and say a prayer for us. That's the most powerful thing that you can do. Also, you can cut and paste the email that I put in every one of these videos and send it off to the bureaucrats who, with one phone call, could restore Paul's visits. The judge that I was before didn't even let me interview Paul's doctors. And none of the doctors appeared. And they did not give evidence as to whether these visits, the isolation and confinement of Paul is in his best interest. I love you all. Paul, I'm going to call you in a few minutes. I love you so much. I wish I could think of what you might want to listen to, what song we could sing, or what you'd like to listen to. You're the best brother in the whole world. You're my old pal. I'm your pal. I miss you so much, dear, and I'll see you soon. I can just feel it.